Welcome Healbot enjoyers, this is actually my second take because after recording this guide first time I figured out that recording have 1.5 hours and nobody wants to see that long video. So this one will be a little bit faster. I won't be explaining everything, I will just show you how to set up from fresh add-on to some nice comfortable settings. You can just go and heal in the game because default is definitely not good enough. You need to do something first. So I resetted all my settings on Healbot, so this is what you get when you just freshly install that Healbot or also reset settings. And I will just change it from this state to some usable, nice, pretty form. Don't worry if you don't enjoy exactly what I'm setting there, you will also see where are those settings and what they are doing, so you can set it by your own liking. So how to get to the settings? On minimap there will be icon, in a case there is missing or probably hidden, but whatever, you write in the chat /HB and that's command that will open Healbot. Starting with the general, over here I'm just changing opacity so I can actually see the text. It can be messy. If you are monk you need to click down here because it won't show add-on for you. It's just how it is. This is which classes this add-on will activate. Overrides we are skipping, nothing for us. Spells. Over here you are setting which band are doing which ability. So if nothing is over here modifier, that means left click is rejuvenation, I will click left click, rejuvenation, cast it. I will click right click, casting a regrowth. So here you will just write the name, literally just click it and you will write it in. If there is gray text, no icon, that means game doesn't understand, or rather add-on doesn't understand what it is, so it's probably typo or sometimes some other problem. You can also put here some macros commands, some items, actually trinket, you will just write name over here and you are good to go. So rejuvenations over there. If I will hold shift, so this is that modifier key, I have different abilities. So if I hold shift, this is swiftment if I click left button. If I don't hold shift, my left button is rejuvenation, so that's exactly how it works. So also control and left button is suddenly remove corruption. So set up this however you like. Then go down here, smart cast out of combat. It's okay, just definitely take out the remove buffs. It's really annoying. Moving on, skits. Here you have still party frames on the left side from Blizzard UI, too bad I'm not in party to show you, but you will have some default Blizzard UI showing nameplates of who is in the group. You have now this add-on for it, so you can turn it off, up to you. Then going to the effects, you should just have everything by default. Don't click it, it should be turned off by default too. In a case you have it clicked on use float bars, that's quite important, just click it off because you don't want to see nice animation, you want to see add-on changing fast so you can react with your heals. Colors I'm skipping. If you have some vision impairing disease or whatever reason, yeah, you can play with it, but if you are a healthy person, you don't need to play with the colors. They are self-explanatory. Enemies, nah, this is add-on we are setting now for healing. We don't care about enemies. Moving on. Chat messages, I prefer no messages. It's just unnecessary spam. You really don't need that. But this one can be useful. So after you drop combat and you are lower mana under this threshold, so let's say 10 is much less than 20 is still too little, you will send a message to the chat and like probably tank won't pull next pack and wait for you to just sit down and drink a little bit of mana. So this can be really useful. Alright, moving on frames, and with that on a little bit more graphic. Now it's always unlocked, so in the heat of battle I can just by accident move it. Now I don't even see it because it's overlapping, or just zoom on the side of the screen. We don't want that. So always locked, now I can remove it. If you need to move it, just unlock it, move it on position you want to have it, then click it over here, always locked. In a case you enjoy to have different direction growing frames, Then growth direction setting is over here, and you set it on horizontal, and you can see already change of which direction these bars are growing. Also, we have frame padding. I just set it on 0 because it's just too fat. Let me turn off our test and moving on. Heal groups, if you have only raid and it's frame 1, that's what you want. So frame 1, raid, everything else unclicked, that's a good place to start from. Headers, don't use it. You don't need it. It's unnecessary information. You can count a little. So now about bars, I will just jump to visibility so we can actually see what's happening. More about it later. So I like smoother. I like that texture. And then I will go down to the test so I can align it nicely. So now I have 25 people. And I use this because I want to align it so it's not overlapping any spells, not hiding under anything. So now it's nicely aligned to my screen, and I will have 25 people or other 5 groups in your raid. And now just adjust, hide, however you feel like. Okay, I can turn off this setting. Be careful if you are clicking that test, because after this mode is on, a lot of settings are not showing, or you will changing something and you cannot see it and stuff like that. So if you are doing some settings that really don't need you to see this, just don't have it there, because it can make you some bugs, some problems. So we have nice size. I like that. This is really important. Just change it on health. It's nice green if everybody is full. Well, it's nice green for anyone who is full, and to lower his health you will go through orange to the red color. So in that way you can easily react on the color over here. Oh, I see different color than green. I need to start healing someone. Don't worry, you are not losing your knowledge about class. You can see the text is still in the class color, so you know I'm druid. You don't need to have that background color to be also that class color. Over here, incoming heals, opacity is just too much, just put it lower, trust me on that. Base sort, name is just terrible. Unit ID is the same order as Blizzard UI, so if you just want to have some basic order, do that. Otherwise, just sort it by a role. So tanks together, healers together, stuff like that. Visibility, I just set it on max, because it's making, oh, I'm out of combat. Bam, it's not shiny. Then when you're out of combat, lower health, then it's showing blah blah blah. I think it's just bad mechanic, so I'll just put this on 100. That means it's always showing in full opacity. Aggro showing, no, you don't need it there. Auxiliary bars, if you want to see really something, you can add there, whatever you like. I prefer nothing. Bar text, quite also important. So you can see, you can play with the positioning, you can play also where is the anchor, but usually the offset is good enough. I like text a little bit bigger. Also you can change what type of text. Myriad, it's not even showing. It died. Alright, I changed the text and name just disappeared, but it's okay. This quite important settings, UTF-8 library. What it's doing, that UTF-8 library is almost all characters from the old world. So for example, if you are playing, I don't know, with some Asians, if you are playing some Russians, Ukrainian, same, different letters, add-ons are usually showing just square, 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 square. This setting will actually show that characters. So go for it. It can be buggy, so in the case it is, then click it out, but still you will have squares if somebody is using different letters. So moving on the health, because colors we like, class colors, to know that. Moving on health, I don't like position, I want a little bit offset, because it's in my name. And knowing max health, you don't need that. I prefer much more delta. So now after I get damage, because otherwise it doesn't update, I didn't go damage. So delta is showing how much health you are missing, and I think that's a little bit more important information than about what is your health right now, because we can work as healers with that a little bit more than just what is your health right now. No, how much you are missing. Then incoming heals just idly nothing, because you want to know how much is missing. This is okay, it's almost not showing. It's showing just in tooltip, it's okay. Not obscuring us. Alright. Icons, let's just jump on buffs, because I can show buffs. So you have Anchor, bottom right, you top left, bam, it's growing from that side now. I use more, running over time effects there. But let's keep it on bottom right. It's really tiny, so let's increase it. And maybe a little bit more. I like this. The text over there is also really tiny, so I will just pump it up. You can also decide which duration will be showing, because now it starts showing numbers 9 seconds and lower. You can set it on 50 seconds and lower, and you will see 50, but you don't care about that, alright? Alright, with the buffs here is also important like other sets, and I will set it like top left. That means you can split some buffs to show on different place on our nameplate. And more about it later, but here is settings for it, so we can already set it up. And little extras over here, I like class roles. Actually, I had also mark on me, I don't have now. So I like to have this, but also with the show role when set, not only show class, because about class I don't care, because I see it already with the color. So I'll make it smaller, and this will be like sword, shield, or cross, depend if you are healing tank or DPS. So I now is there, hiding in the corner. Retarget, it's that mark I have right now, you can turn it off, but if somebody say, oh, this is your guy, you need to heal, you are healing cross, blah blah blah, so maybe you want to see it. So in the case, I just like it in the corner, a little bit smaller. And the states just really check, others you shouldn't see, and this is just useless. So for the debuffs, you have the same settings as buffs, but I won't be touching that because it's just the same thing. Action icons, don't use Vigavra. Anything you can do here, you can do with Vigavra's add-on, and it's just much better there. So yeah, bye. We don't need that settings. So indicators, I don't want to see aggro, I don't want to see any low mana, don't want to see what abilities are mine. So I don't want to see it, I don't want to see the power. Nah, I'm healer here, I'm healing. Emergency, we are not using that. Moving on. Buffs and debuffs, let's jump on the buffs first, because it's again easier to explain as you can see buffs. So on the general, on the buffs here, you want to choose Mark of the Wild. That means it will be checking for that buff. That's your 1 hour buff for everyone, 3% versatility. If you are playing different spec, of course you have something different. Sometimes you have nothing. Click here on the raid, or you can click on self if you have some self buff in a case. And now if I don't have it, you can see it's coloring white. I really don't like that coloring because it's really obscuring my view if it's green health or red health, so I prefer something like border hazard or growing lines. And bam, you have buff there. I just click with left click, and this is that smart cast out of combat because I was missing buff. So this will be checking for that buff. And then this is quite a lot of settings over here, and you can do big things with it. Buffs are usually something like rejuvenation. Of course, this is also buff, but this is for we don't care about it. When we are healing, it's not important for us. Of course, we want everybody to have it, but it's again not important for our healing. So what is important for our healing is things like our rejuvenations, and wild growth and regrowth healing, or stuff like that. So that's what we are doing right now. So here you can play with it a little. So for Druid, we'll choose class, and then you can say, let's say Life Bloom. Let's find Life Bloom because I already added. And here's our Life Bloom. And let's say we want to have on different spot, and this is that icon sets we set with. See, icon is tiny, number is tiny, because in icon settings over here, when setting buffs, I just set everything for icon set 1. So this is different settings. So and you have 3 of them. So if you want those buffs on different location, growing from left side, top left, middle, you can do it. And this is how you change that, like which ability belongs where. You can also set the icon is glowing, whatever you like, see nice shiny lines, and also you can color whole bar if you really want. See, Life Bloom is there, cancel it, but yeah, you really don't want to mess with that. Then you have also priority. 1 is the best, so top priority is 1, lowest priority is 20. More I played with this, the more buggy it was. So I will just tell you theory and I won't show you anything. But hopefully it will work. It's start of the new DLC, so maybe they didn't catch that bug yet. So normally if everything is 20 priority but it's default, after you cast some buff, after you apply some buff, it will apply on the corner position, and when you cast a new one, you will be pushing it to the side. It will be more to the left, so rejuvenation will be moving on the left side and new abilities will be adding from that side. If you change priority, like let's say I will set Life Bloom on the 1 priority and I will use rejuvenation, see, it didn't push it, it started from other side. I'm not showing everything because again this was quite bugged. The more I play with it, let's leave it at that. But this is how you set this priority. So if you set every ability on different priority, they will have set order in which buffs will be showing. So it's quite important because some Life Bloom healing over time effect is more important than some other abilities. So you want to focus on that, see it there, shiny and nice. Alright, enough of this. Hopefully they will fix it soon enough. Then let me show you to add something or remove something you like or don't like. What I don't like is this short healing over time effects from Efflorescence. Spring Blossom is not important to see, but it's showing. So in that case, you will find it over here because it's already added. That's why it's showing, and you will disable it. Bam! I still have that buff. It's not showing. That's how you get rid of it. Make sure you will click this twice because one click is disabling it only in one zone. You want to click twice so it's disabled everywhere. That's how you remove something or completely delete that by, let's just disable it. If you don't see something, for example, there's new healing over time effect, Symbiotic Blooms, but it's not showing over here. So you will write name over here. It's case sensitive, so it needs to be big B, big S. It cannot be just name, it needs to be exactly how it's called. I will save it. And just immediately change it on self. Most of the occasions you want to in self, and see, now there is Symbiotic Bloom. It's showing shiny over there. So I added that. So let's go back to debuffs. It got similar setting, but let's hop to general. Here you need to set by which spell you are using to just dispelling those debuffs. So in this case I'm Druid, so it's Nature's Cure. So I'm choose that ability and check for everyone on raid. Now add-on will be judging debuffs by what class you are playing, or rather which spell you have available to dispel. So it will be just showing you primarily just those debuffs you can do something about and start hiding more those you cannot do anything. So for Druid you cannot do disease, so it's not important to push disease notification for you. For debuffs, it's usually quite good list what Healbot is managing, so most of it is automatic. But in the case there is something that is missing or you are interested in, or maybe anything else that is just not counting as debuff but you want to see there, just click it here. It doesn't matter which letter, it will get sorted automatically, because if it's on custom you cannot write new debuffs. And here, new tank debuff. Bam. Of course it's nothing, but now you can see if I choose MN, it's over there, casted by everyone, because it's debuff, so probably not from you. And make sure it's not bar color if you want to see just icon. If you click this to none, just show an icon, and usually that's what you are going for, because if you want to see some debuff on tank, it's not dispellable. You don't want different colors of the bars. So yeah, change that to none. Alright, what's left? It's tips. So when you mouse over, you have tooltip. Ideally, at least hiding tooltip in combat, so you don't have mess on your screen when you are just blasting dungeons raids. Ideally, I just play without tooltips. I just remember what are the settings, and if I want tooltip of someone, I will just click it and I'll see default Blizzard tooltip. Sure, why not? If you like it, then we have our test. Just remember, if you have turned this test mode, most settings, if you will tweak a lot of settings, it won't happen. So if you changing something and you don't see it already changing, just turn it off, because now it's most of it is working right now, not in a test mode. Test mode is more or less just for visuals and just to see how it looks. It's, yeah, just keep it off if you especially don't need it really right now to see how it looks. Plugins, let's not care about it, and import, export, it's over here. I can just export what I did right now. If you liked the settings like visuals, I did it right now. So this will be just skins, so it won't be buffs, debuffs, or some spells, keybinds. So this will be pure export for visuals. If you like that, what I did, then link for this export will be under the video, so you can just import that, and absolutely do not worry about some setting yourself. And that will be all from me. If you have any kind of questions about this healbot, any kind of problems, just hit me up in the comments. I'm responding usually under 24 hours, so don't hesitate, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.